Welcome back, everyone. It's another video for my Little by Liz series on making over a thrifted dollhouse into a miniature modern farmhouse style. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I made my first piece of furniture for this dollhouse, which is in a 1:12 scale, meaning 1 inch is equal to 12 inches. And this bed that I made is for the master bedroom on the second floor of this dollhouse. The goal with this series and project is to try and make as much of the pieces as I can myself and on a budget. So please like, subscribe if you're interested in following for future videos on this dollhouse, and let's start on the process. So first things first, I inserted my inspiration photo into my Procreate app, and I'm going to cut this out with my Cricut. I wanted to test my new deep point blade on some chipboard, but you can totally draw this by hand with pencil or pen on whatever material you're using and cut it with an X-Acto knife. I'm doing the headboard first, so I'm going to draw out the shape that I want, and I'm going to flip it so it's symmetrical on each side and draw a base. Next up was the footboard. I actually copied the identical shape from the headboard and I just compressed it, which really made the design a lot softer and more subtle on the footboard, which I was really okay with. And then I added in the bottom design and the little legs. After doing this, I realized that to actually put the bed together, it was going to be a lot easier to have square edges on the outer side of the little legs of the bed, so I went in and altered that. So when I finished the drawings, I saved them as PNG files with transparent backgrounds, and then I inserted them into my Cricut design program. Now, I had 3 different items that I inserted: the headboard as one solid piece, footboard, one solid piece, and then a leg. The leg of the bed I was able to duplicate in my Cricut design program, so I only needed to insert one of them, and then I could flip it horizontally so that I had a mirror image of it for the other side of the bed. Once I inserted all of these, I took the legs, I made my duplicates, and then I added a rectangle into the Cricut design program, as you can see here, and that created the side of the frame of my bed. So here are the 4 final pieces that I had to cut out with my Cricut: headboard, footboard, and 2 side pieces for the frame. I have a Cricut Explore Air 2, and it can only cut a max of 1/16 inch chipboard, so that is the size that I am using. I got them off of Amazon, and I bought a deep point blade to cut through this as well. I used a strong grip mat and taped it down with painter's tape. I will list the specs I used to cut this in the description box. So here are the pieces cut out, and this is what I was talking about with having square edges on the side pieces so they could connect to the headboard and footboard easily. I then taped the bed frame together just so I could make sure that everything fit and it was the size that I wanted. Next up was finishing the piece, which was already craft brown as a base, and I wanted it to look like wood. So I mixed together brown and yellow to get kind of a golden color, did an all over coat. I did have a little bit of gray in there as well, kind of a gray beige. And then when that dried, which happened pretty quickly, I went in with the fog gray paint and kind of a hard dried up bristle brush, and I kind of started doing strokes of the gray and a little bit of the golden color over top of what I had already painted to get kind of this scratchy, distressed wood look. It literally took me 5 minutes. It was so easy, and I love the result. I then cut out a cardboard piece that would be the platform for the bed that I would set the mattress on, just from some random cardboard I had lying around. After I was done painting, or while it was drying, I took the cutout pieces from the headboard and the footboard, those center sections, and I really wanted to try and use as much of the material as I could. So I needed to make that cane look from the inspiration bed photo, which I'll insert here. And I didn't want to make actual miniature caning, so I figured that burlap would give me the same look. And I had burlap ribbon lying around my house that I've had for years and never used. So I simply put double-sided tape on those cutout pieces because I thought glue would seep through. So I used double-sided tape, and then I laid the burlap ribbon over top, made sure it was nice and square and straight on the pieces, stuck it down, and then cut off all the excess. Then I could take my already painted bed frame outlines of the headboard and footboard and glue them on top of the burlap center pieces. I then glued the entire bed frame together. I used hot glue, and I had that cardboard piece in the center as the base to try and keep the bed frame as square as possible while I glued it, and that will act as a base for my mattress to sit on. It looks like a hot mess at the back of the headboard and the back of the footboard, but we're going to fix this. But it was really nice to see the bed come together. So I actually already had some burlap ribbon tape. It's sticky on the back already, and I decided I was going to use that for the back side of the footboard and the headboard to finish them off. Now, a lot of the footboard you won't see because of the mattress and the bedding, but especially the sides and the top need to be finished properly with a burlap look to hide all of the glue. And same with the headboard. You're not really going to see it because it's against a wall, but the sides and the top definitely need to be finished because you will see those. I did actually end up using hot glue in certain places to stick this burlap ribbon tape down just so it was a tighter fit. I cut out 2 little side pieces for the footboard and for the headboard and curved one outside edge on each to put at the side on the back of these pieces, and then I took a longer piece of the burlap ribbon and I placed it along the top curve of the footboard and the headboard, and that's how I assembled the back burlap kind of padding to finish these off. As you can see, I really kind of took my time to make sure that the edges of this ribbon tape were nicely pressed against the back of the footboard and headboard so that they looked secure and everything looked as clean as possible considering you're using burlap. I then cut out a piece of styrofoam to the size of the mattress that I wanted to sit on the platform of the bed, and I simply covered it in white felt that I had lying around left over from crafts, and I hot glued it on and into place. And it didn't have to be perfect because I am going to cover this in hopefully a lot of comfy bedding, but this is how the mattress turned out on the bed. Here is a final look at the bed as it stands now with no bedding on it, just the mattress and the bed frame. I absolutely love it. I based this off of a queen size bed. It's a little bit oversized just due to the style and the vibe that I was going for, but I will leave the dimensions for this particular piece in the description box. This bed was actually super easy to make, and like I said, you could cut this out by hand if you wanted to. I could have done that. I just really wanted to test out my Cricut, but I'm really happy with the result considering this is the first piece of furniture for my Modern Farmhouse dollhouse makeover. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. It's been so fun to get started on this project. I can't wait for the rest of it. So please hit like, subscribe for notifications on my next videos, and I will see you soon.